Hi. How are you? How are you feeling? Some of you are like, shitty. Am I not allowed to say that? I don't know. My name's Jesse Ruben. I'm a Lyme disease patient. I've been in remission for 4 years. I highly recommend that. November 4th, 2012 was a really important day in my life. I did something really cool. For you New Yorkers, if you remember, the New York City Marathon was canceled that year because of Hurricane Sandy. So me and a bunch of my friends ran the 26.2 miles in Central Park. When I got home that night, one of those people that had run with us was a girl that I'd been dating. And then that night, I formally asked her if she would be my girlfriend. That was a big deal for me because I hadn't had a girlfriend in a long time. And she said yes, which was also why it was a big deal. 3 months later, February of 2013, I was walking up the stairs. I live off the Graham Avenue stop on the L train. And I got to the top of the one flight of stairs, and I couldn't breathe. And I thought that was really weird. And my life sort of spiraled down from there. And 9 months, 16 doctors later, I got a diagnosis of Lyme disease. Being at these conferences gives me so much hope because we've come so far even since 2012. I'm somebody where chronic illness follows me everywhere. Every Uber driver I've had, the person sitting next to me on airplanes either has or knows someone who has a chronic illness. And now when I meet those people, I can confidently tell them there are resources for you, there are ways for you to connect with other people in a way that there weren't when I was sick in 2012. I'm going to speak to the Lyme patients in the room, and the rest of you get to listen now. For those of you who have Lyme, you don't have to raise your hands. It doesn't matter. That you're here is a miracle. The stuff that you guys had to deal with to even get into this room right now, I can't even imagine. And I am just so, so, so grateful and happy that you're here. And now non-Lyme patient people, you should clap for the Lyme patients. That would be good. So this song is for the Lyme patients in the room, and the rest of you get to listen. This song's called You're Not Alone Anymore. She spent her days alone, alone in the dark, just quiet and sitting. She was so close to giving up, so close to quitting, and can't understand why her hands won't stop shaking. The worst part of all was they thought she was faking. But when you're begging for help, and everyone you tell calls you selfish, when you need someone there, but everyone who cares is helpless. She said, I know what it's like when there's no end in sight, and it feels like you'll never be cured. I know how it gets when it doesn't make sense, and each day is worse than before. Yes, I know what it feels like. So you're not alone anymore. She lost a year from this, a year of her life that was stolen and taken, and she was so sick. She couldn't remember her favorite places and prays every day for the pain to be gone. The worst part is when they said there's nothing wrong. But when you're begging for help and everyone you tell calls you selfish, and when you need someone there, but everyone who cares is helpless. She said, I know what it's like when there's no end in sight, and it feels like you'll never be cured. I know how it gets when it doesn't make sense, and each day is worse than before. Yes, I know what it feels like. So you're not alone anymore. Yes, I know what it feels like. So you're not alone anymore. Thank you very much. I'm not crying, you're crying. We're all crying, it's fine. I'm just gonna play one more song for you. This is a song called This Is Why I Need You. So, that girl that I mentioned that said yes to dating me on November 4th, 2012, we got married last year. Yeah. I got real lucky with that one. We've been through a lot. And sometimes when people meet us, they're like, oh, your lives look great, everything's good. I was a sick person 6 weeks after we met. 6 weeks after we started dating, I was in bed 20 hours a day, right? For me, patient advocacy is the most important thing. One of the hardest parts of being sick, and I mentioned it in the song, is that nobody believed me. Lyme disease is like way cooler now than it was in 2012. We got celebrities in magazines talking about it. We got people on TV. In 2012, I was just like a crazy person shouting from the rooftops that I was sick, and everyone looked at me like I had 3 heads, including my future wife and my parents and my twin sister and all of my family and friends, right? There was a moment when I was invited to, I met a couple people through my doctor's office here in New York. I went to the Marston Center in New York City. I love them very much. And you can clap for the Marston Center, that's fine. We call it Club Mo, it's fine. I got invited to a dinner on the Upper West Side, and I walked into the room, and there were 9 other people around my age. And I was 2.5 hours late because my mom had dragged me to some weird doctor's appointment outside of Philadelphia where they told me that there wasn't anything wrong with me, again. And I walked into this apartment with all my stuff and all sweaty, and I had 17 layers on, and I put all my stuff down, and I walked into the living room, and I was like, you guys have Lyme disease? And they were like, yeah. And I went from not wanting to be alive anymore to having hope for the first time in like 2.5 years. Connecting with other people who understand what's going on with you is the most important thing, which is why for me, advocacy is so, so important. It's why groups like Generation Lyme and WANA, helping people, young people especially, connect is really important. It's why on November 3rd, for the 4th time, as team captain, I'm gonna run the New York City Marathon, raising money for Lyme disease research with Global Lyme Alliance on my chest in front of 2 million people that watch that event, right? Yeah, you can clap for that. Everywhere I go, every show that I play, I talk about my experience, and everywhere I go, there are people that are sick and they don't know what they have, and all of their symptoms are the same, mostly. Tired, achy, headaches, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, all of it, everywhere. I've also been to Europe too. It's the same shit everywhere we go. This is a huge problem. I do a lot of work with schools. I was in Philadelphia, I was working with a school once, and the teacher said, in between classes, can you talk to one of my students? She's been really tired. And by really tired, she's been sleeping 20 hours a day. Her mom doesn't think there's anything wrong with her. And after speaking to her, I had a classroom of 40 music students, high school age. And I said, just out of curiosity, how many of you are dealing with chronic pain and fatigue and stuff like that? Over half of them raised their hands. And I said, how many of you have ever heard of Lyme disease? 1. When I was 26 and my parents didn't believe me, it was okay because I could go to the doctor anyway. When you're 15, you can't do that. So it's really, really important that we get the message out about what's actually going on, especially for young people, because it's really hard for young people. So anyway, I married this girl, and then I wrote this song after I got better. And a lot of people think it's about her, and it is. But this song is called This Is Why I Need You, and I wrote this song because I wanted to acknowledge all of the people in my life that helped me get through my illness. So part of that was my wife, but a huge, huge part of that was the Lyme disease community. People that I'd never met before, friends of friends of friends who spent hours on the phone with me just letting me cry and complain. People I met in person who could just look me in the eye and tell me it was going to be okay, and I kind of believed them. where I would talk about my symptoms. Instead of looking at me like I was crazy, they would just go, yeah, me too. Sometimes that's all you need. And for some reason, this song is way more popular than all my other songs, because it's actually been streamed 27 million times, and I don't have 27 million friends. So what I like to say about this song is it's a song about the people in your lives that help you get from point A to point B when you didn't know it was possible to get to point B. Does that make sense? Great. So this song is called This Is Why I Need You. I'm going to turn my guitar on. I have so many questions and places to go. There are too many options, far too many unknowns. This is why I need you. And everyone talks now, but no one is right. There are too many armies with no one to fight. This is why I need you. 'Cause you make the darkness less dark. You make the edges less sharp. You make the winter feel warmer. And you make my weakness less weak. You make the bottom less deep. You make the waiting feel shorter. You make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. There are too many problems and no one who cares. There are so many roads and they all need repairs. This is why I need you. And there's not enough chocolate, there's too many chores. There are so many mountains that I haven't explored. This is why I need you. 'Cause you make the darkness less dark. You make the edges less sharp. You make the winter feel warmer. You make my weakness less weak. You make the bottom less deep. You make the waiting feel shorter. You make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. And you keep the ship moving forward. And you make it easy to try. And you make my crazy feel normal every time. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. You are the who, love is the what, this is the why. You are the who, love is the what, and this is the why. Thank you so much. My name is Jesse Ruben. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you're doing. It means the world to me and so many people like me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you very much. Thank you. Thank you to Lyme Mind for having me. This is amazing. Thank you to everybody working. You're awesome. If I don't know you, come say hi. I look like this. Thank you.